Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do share it with your friends and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Jaydev joins us in this session. Welcome, Jaydev.
Good evening to all the viewers once again.
Yeah. So the first major news, the breaking news, is that uh, BJP hails the Supreme Court decision to lift suspension of 12 Maharashtra MLAs as a slap on Mahavikas Aghadi. The BJP on Friday hailed the Supreme Court order setting aside the Maharashtra Assembly's decision to suspend 12 legislators of the Saffron Party for a 1 year period, calling it a slap on the ruling Mahavikas Aghadi government. This Supreme Court judgment is a slap on the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, said BJP. The suspension was an act of vendetta by the government. They wanted to keep us away from the elections that were to be held for the Speaker's post. The order to keep us out of the Assembly for a year, which meant we could not raise the issues affecting our constituency, was unjust. They could have suspended us for one session. The Supreme Court judgment is fair and has undone the wrong that was done to us. BJP MLA Girish Mahajan, one of the suspended MLAs, said. The MDA government, meanwhile, said that the decision to suspend the legislators was not taken by the government, but instead was a decision taken by the Maharashtra Assembly Speaker. Welcoming the SC's decision, leader of opposition Devendra Fadnavis tweeted, Satyame Jayate. We welcome and thank the Honorable SC, for the historic decision of quashing of suspension of our 12 MLAs who were fighting for the cause of OBCs in Maharashtra Legislative Assembly during the monsoon season. This decision of the Honorable SC will save the democratic values, and it is yet another tight slap on the face of the MBA government for its unconstitutional, unethical, unfair, illegal, and undemocratic actions and activities, he tweeted. Meanwhile, the MBA government said that it is waiting for the detailed order of the Supreme Court judgment before deciding the next step. It added that the final decision will be taken by the Maharashtra Assembly Speaker. Once the Legislative Secretariat gets a copy of the detailed order, the SC judgment will be analyzed by them and a final decision will be taken by the Speaker. This decision was not made by the Maharashtra government, but by the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. The final decision on this will be taken by the Speaker after studying the rights of the legislator and orders of the SC, Maharashtra Cabinet Minister Nawab Malik said. Yes, back to you.
Yeah, so it looks like BJP is trying to, sort of, they want, they are indicating that they want president's rule in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far they are just, giving lip service and they're not taking any action.
Yeah.
It's like BJP is thinks they are always in opposition.
Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, coming to the next piece of news is actress Shweta Tiwari. She was charged for a remark on God, and cops mention arrest. Now, when contacted, Assistant Commissioner of Police Bittu Sharma told media that actress Shweta would be formally arrested, but she can get bail from the police station itself, after which she has to get it rectified by a competent court. Now, the police in Bhopal today registered a case against television actress Shweta Tiwari for hurting religious sentiments through her remark on God. Now, the case was registered against her, after Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra's directions to the city police to investigate her remark and submit a report. Now, a video of Ms. Shweta Tiwari's controversial statement went viral on social media, in which she allegedly referred to God while speaking about her bra. Her co-actors were also present when she made the remark during an interaction with the media persons. The actor from popular TV series Mahabharata, who played the role of Lord Krishna, who was Saurabh Jain, will be playing the role of a bra fitter in the upcoming series. This is what Shweta Tiwari jokingly made the alleged statement in reference to Saurabh during the press conference. So, a case was registered against Shweta Tiwari under IPC section 295A, which is deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings or any class by insulting its religious or religious beliefs. Now, the police in Bhopal registered a case against her and for allegedly hurting religious sentiments. And as per a clip obtained from the event, she made a statement, "Mere bra ki size Bhagwan le raha hai," which is in English means that God is taking the measurements of her bra. Now, when contacted, Bitu Sharma told media that the actor would be formally arrested, but she can get bail from the police station itself. Now, actress Shweta Tiwari, against who an FIR has been filed by the police in Bhopal for allegedly hurting religious sentiments through her remark on God, has broken her silence on the matter. She has issued a statement that was shared by media on her on the Instagram handle, and a caption read as official statement by Shweta Tiwari on the recent fiasco. The statement read, "It has come to my notice that a certain statement of mine referring to a colleague's previous role has been taken out of context and has been misconstrued." So, when put in context, one will understand that the statement in reference to Bhagwan was in context with Saurabh Jain's popular role of a deity. Now, people associate character names with actors, and hence I used that as an example during my conversation with the media. However, it has been completely misconstrued, which is saddening to see. As someone who's a staunch believer of Bhagwan myself, there is no way I would intentionally or unintentionally say or do any such thing that would hurt the sentiments by and large. Now, hence, I would like to humbly apologize for that hurt, and my statement has unintentionally caused grief to a lot of people. That's
Yeah. So see what you see here,
hmm,
Jaydev, is very clearly a pattern. See, Bollywood people are supposed to, make fun, mock Hindu deities, and trivialize our religion. And after they do that, then of course the police will come and act against someone's FIR, and then they will issue apologies. So the harm has already been done. So this is why they are in Bollywood itself. This lady is a very small actress, a very small TV actress. People hardly noticed her. It was only because of Big Boss and all that, people started noticing her. Now, these people have very specific roles, exactly like what Kajal told us yesterday. There is a sort of a jihadic movement against our religion, and they use these women and men, to sort of attack us or hit us. And what right does she have to talk about Lord Krishna, his role as a bra fitter? I mean, what does she mean? So it's very humiliating the way she spoke, and it's an agenda, very clear agenda by Bollywood and these Ekta Kapoor type of serial makers. These are all with a very very hidden agenda, and they need to be taught a lesson, and that's the only way they will learn. If they dare touch another religion, Shweta's head will be on her lap. She knows that. Okay, so it is not against any other religion. It is only against Hinduism, because Hindus are tolerant, but they are no longer tolerant because people have started acting. And if some action is not taken against this, what I would say a bimbo, she's a fool if she can say this, then I mean, the public should fight just like they do in the Boycott Bollywood Act. Yeah.
it is also there are a few points which I came to notice is that one is all these small actors and actresses, they have to say something which is
Yeah,
anti-Hindu.
they have to toe a line.
So they have to please the mafia in Karachi or Lahore or,
Absolutely.
and so as they are funding as they get funding for these films from there,
Yeah.
and number two is that it is also a publicity stunt because
And
no
also
one knows
remember, her
Shweta
daughter is
Tiwari,
dating
right?
Ibrahim, I think
Yeah,
Saif's son.
I mean,
So this is all
I've
love
not
jihad
heard.
type of.
I mean,
characters.
I've not even heard of this character called Shweta Tiwari before this
Yes,
controversial
absolutely.
statement. So
Yeah.
it's a sort of a negative publicity which they are sort of aiming at, and getting fame indirectly through negative publicity also.
Yeah. So what Chitra is saying, these women
Yeah.
have crossed all limits of decency, be it their thoughts,
Mm.
their words, their actions. They are perverts. Absolutely. And then you have another comment from Santana who says, I don't understand why these TV actresses who have no knowledge whatsoever about certain topics, yet they open their big mouths like they're having a verbal diarrhea. Well said, you know. So, and of course, another very big example is Swara. She's another character. These people, as Kajal said yesterday, they are paid heftily, to name people Taimur and Ibrahim and whatnot, and then make such a big issue of it. Now, I wonder when this child named Tipu Sultan will arrive, and from whose surrogacy. Okay, back to the next piece of news. A plea has been filed before Supreme Court to stay OTT release of Why I Killed Gandhi. The plea pointed out that the censor board had not cleared the film, and it is consequently slated for release on OTT platforms, Limelight, on January 30. A petition has been filed before the Supreme Court seeking a stay on the release of the movie Why I Killed Gandhi on over the top platform. The plea was filed by one Sikandar Bail through advocate Anuj Bhandari, said that the movie intends to defame and tarnish the image of the father of nation and glorify Nathuram Godse and celebrate his act of killing Mahatma Gandhi. The movie, he said, is aimed at creating communal disharmony, spreading hatred, and disturbing peace, the police said. It also pointed out that the censor board had not cleared the film, and it is consequently slated for release on OTT platform Limelight on January 30. The movie was made in 2017 and never had any theatrical release. Interestingly, NCP leader and member of parliament Amol Kole is playing the role of Godse in the movie. So we're talking about Sharad Pawar's party uh, member of parliament, Amol Kole, is playing the role of Godse. The petition also sought regulation of the OTT platform, which are presently beyond the purview of the censor board, and unregulated and uncensored content is being published on various OTT platforms. So, so if NCP is a part of this, then there might be some. I don't know whether there's any mischief behind this. I really don't know. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Samir Wankhede. Now, special NDPS court denies bail to youth who made allegations against Samir Wankhede. Now, the accused, who is 20-year-old Zaid Rana, he was arrested in April from his Mumbai residence by the NCB in an alleged drugs case. Now, a charge sheet against Rana and three others was filed, after which Rana filed the bail application. Now, Mumbai court under the NDPS Act refused to grant bail to an accused who had leveled serious allegations against Samir Wankhede. And the NCB sleuths had seized 1.32 grams of LSD, 22 grams of ganja, and one dab of cannabis from 20-year-old Zaid's house in Mumbai. Now, a charge sheet against Rana and three others was filed, after which Rana filed the bail application. Now, advocate Ashok Sarogi, representing Rana, told the court that the accused lives in a flat which is adjacent to the flat that is owned by Samir Wankhede. The officer had given out his flat on rent, and the bail plea claims that due to some differences between Wankhede's tenant and Rana's parents, Wankhede had raided his residence. So NCB sleuths had seized all these material, which is 1.32 grams of LSD, 22 grams of ganja, and one dab of cannabis. Now, the officer had given out his flat on rent, and the bail plea claims that due to some differences between Wankhede's tenant and Rana's parents, Wankhede had raided the residence. Now, however, advocate Advait Setna, appearing for the central agency, vehemently opposed the bail plea, stating that the accused is involved in trafficking, financing, procuring, supply, distribution, and sale of the seized contraband held in commercial quantities. It was further contended that This demonstrates that the accused is regularly dealing with contraband and considering the factum of financing under Section 27A. The rigors of Section 37 is which makes bailable offences non-bailable would apply. After hearing arguments from both sides, Special Judge Abe said that the charge sheet categorically states that the telephonic communications between Rana with a co-accused in the case who was found with commercial quantity of drugs. Therefore, in view of such telephonic communications since February, the role of Rana with co-accused and his complexity in the crime cannot be negated. So the judge further said that deciding on application for bail, it is settled that the court is required to see whether the prima facie case exists or not. It is not necessary to make a roving inquiry or examine the merits of a prosecution case. The prima facie material collected during the course of the investigation, specified here and above by the prosecution, clearly demonstrates the telephonic conversations and WhatsApp chats between Rana and the co-accused. So apart from the same as stated here and before, as the contraband is recovered in commercial quantity, the rigors of Section 37 of the NDPS Act are well attracted and the ipso facto that the applicant accused from any such relief of enlargement on bail. Thus, considering this, I am of the opinion that Rana has failed to make out a prima facie case for the grant of bail. So things are now slightly tilting towards Samir Wankhede's favor. It looks like that.
Yeah. In fact, Rohan has written today Sahil Shah has been arrested. So in this Sushant Singh case, they were looking for this character. So he's been finally arrested. So that's good news. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Lata Mangeshkar. Lata Mangeshkar apparently has been taken off the ventilator as a trial, says her family. Lata Didi continues to be in the ICU at Breach Candy Hospital, Mumbai, under treatment, reads a family statement. Legendary singer Lata is showing signs of improvement and was taken off the ventilator as a trial. Her family said in her latest update that Lata, who's 92, has been in the intensive care unit or ICU of Mumbai's Breach Candy Hospital since early January after testing positive for COVID 19. She'll remain in ICU and under observation, said the family. Lata is being treated for COVID and pneumonia by Dr. Pratik Samdhani. Her family said earlier that she had mild COVID symptoms and was taken to ICU as a precaution because of her age. The update on her health reads Lata Didi continues to be in the ICU at Breach Candy Hospital, Mumbai, under treatment. She has been given a trial of extubation, which is off invasive ventilator, this morning. Presently, she is showing signs of improvement, but will remain under observation of the team of doctors headed by Dr. Pratik Samdhani. We thank each one of you for your prayers and good wishes. Read the handle that is Lata's official handle. Lata Mangeshkar's family tweets update on her health regularly and also warns against spreading rumors. So back to you, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's Yadurappa's.
So
Right.
yeah. So now coming to the latest piece of news is that Sushant Singh's neighbor Sahil Shah, who was absconding for 9 months, has been arrested. Now NCB has arrested the Dubai-based drug lord Sahil Shah, alias Flacco. So this is Flacco is his second name in connection with the drugs case involving the late SSR. Now, according to the officials, NCB was on lookout for Sahil, who was absconding for the last 9 months. Notably, the name of Sahil Shah, who was the immediate neighbor of Sushant Singh Rajput, came to light when agency arrested the first two accused, which is Karan Arora and Abbas Lakhani, in connection with the supply of drugs. Sources said that Sahil Shah used to supply drugs to many famous people in Bollywood, including Rajput, through many drug peddlers. They further said that Sahil Shah surrendered before the NCB on Wednesday. According to the NCB, he will be probed in connection with the seizure of 310 grams marijuana from the two others accused arrested in April 2021. So this is the latest development with SSR case that Sahil Shah has been arrested. He was the neighbor of Sushant Singh
Yeah, and he
Rajput.
was the one who was supposed to supply drugs to SSR's house. That is to must be through Ria
Yeah.
and the staff. Yeah. Moving on to the next piece of news, very shocking piece of news, is that BJP's former chief minister B.S. Yediyurappa's granddaughter was found dead at Bangalore airport, Bangalore apartment, hanging. Soundarya, a doctor who was married for 2 years, and the granddaughter of Mr. Yediyurappa, his daughter's daughter, Padma's daughter, was found hanging. The 30-year-old is suspected to have died by suicide. The police have registered a case of unnatural death. She was Soundarya, the doctor, was a daughter of Padmavati. She married a colleague at a hospital, Dr. Neeraj S., in 2018. The police said on Friday her husband left for the hospital and she stayed at home. When the help arrived, she kept knocking, but no one opened the door. She then called Neeraj, who called on his wife's phone but got no response. Later, they found her hanging in her room. So it's a very shocking piece of news
Shocking,
and
very
very sad
shocking
piece of news.
news.
It's very shocking because, see, this girl herself is a doctor, and I'm sure she would. It couldn't be depression or some sort of thing, which they normally end up saying that it would be, postnatal depression. But I don't think it's that. There must be something more to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to you, Jerry.
Now, coming to the next piece of shocking news, when you say the word shocking, is that Navjot Singh Sidhu is a cruel person who deserted his mother for money. This is what his own sister Suman said. Now, addressing a press conference, Sidhu's elder sister Suman Toor has accused him of deserting her mother for the sake of money in her old age. Now, Navjot Singh Sidhu's sister has accused him. Now, Suman Toor is she's living in Chandigarh, and she addressed a press conference on Friday alleging this that Sidhu had thrown her out along with her mother in 1986 after their father died. Her mother died in 1989 at a railway station. Now, we have seen very tough times. My mother was in hospital for 4 months. I have documentary evidences of whatever I am claiming. Now, Suman Toor alleged that Sidhu cut ties with them for property. My father had left assets including a house and land besides pension. Now, Navjot Singh Sidhu deserted my mother for the sake of money. We do not want any money from Sidhu. Calling Sidhu a cruel person, Suman claimed that he lied about the separation of her parents in an interview uh, with, uh, with the media in 1987. Suman Toor demanded evidence from her brother for claiming that her mother had separated from their father. My mother had approached the court after Sidhu had claimed that there was a judicial separation between her and our father. Now, Toor says claimed that she wanted to meet Sidhu on January 28th, but he refused to meet her and didn't open the door. I was compelled to address a press conference after attempts to contact Sidhu failed. He has blocked me on his phone. His servants do not open the doors. I want justice for my mother. I'm a 70-year-old, and revealing these things about our family is really tough. Suman's allegations against Sidhu has come at a time when the Congress is campaigning for the Punjab Assembly election as CM hopeful. Now, Punjab goes to polls on February 20th for all the 117 assembly seats. So this is a huge development with regards to Punjab elections, and this is a very shocking statement made by his own sister that
Yeah.
he
So
left his
see,
mother
not only
and
this, Jaydev, see, there are many incidents against this man. He's supposed to be
hmm,
very short-tempered. You know,
yes,
there was an incident where in through road rage, it's supposed to be he's supposed to have killed a man. Okay, now can you imagine how he has treated his mother and his sister? This itself shows. And when this news came out, when this press conference came out, Navjot Sidhu's wife did not say it's the news is wrong. What she said is, they this girl is a this lady is the daughter of his first wife. So if it is a first wife, you can abandon her. What is the justification of Navjot Sidhu's wife? And look at the state of the sister. Sidhu should have some shame when he goes and hugs the Pakistan's military. top officer.
And
He should have some shame.
he has a very soft corner for Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan
Yes.
also.
And not only that,
Yeah.
ISI are his
Mm.
best buddies. This sort of character, is taken by Congress, to represent the face of Punjab, one of the best states in India. You know, we have and we will always be proud of Sikhs and Punjabis because they have been fighting with us in the front.
Mm.
And look at what they have reduced them to. Absolutely, appalling. Meanwhile, see, though I'm telling you something, on a sort of a, humorous note, I don't know whether you remember Mr. Bean. He used to, when he used to write in one of the series, no, we'll go to the Wuhan. When in one of the series, when he was writing an exam, Mr. Bean used to take out number of pens from his pocket, to impress the other people sitting for the exam. It is very similar to what China is doing now. Every year, China is bringing out a new virus, and they say they had absolutely no awareness of it. Very clearly, many years back, it was said that more than 175 strains of virus have been developed in their labs. And they say every time they bring a virus comes out, they are absolutely babes in the wood. That's how they describe it. So now what China's Wuhan lab scientists discover is called NeoCo, the latest variant of coronavirus. According to scientists from the Wuhan University in China, NeoCov can penetrate human cells in the same way as SARS-CoV-2. Chinese researchers have detected a new type of coronavirus among bats in South Africa, while research claims it has a latent ability to mutate. The WHO has said its potential needs further clarity. This man, the WHO chief, is the one who dances to China's tunes. According to scientists from the Wuhan University in China, NeoCov can penetrate human cells in the same way as SARS-CoV-2. It is the closest relative to Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, MERS-CoV. It is only one mutation away from becoming dangerous for humans, researchers said in a paper posted on preprint website BioRxiv and not peer-reviewed yet. However, according to the WHO, the question of whether the neocov coronavirus recently discovered in bats in South Africa poses a threat to humans requires further study. Whether the virus is detected in the study will pose a risk for humans will require further study. The health body was quoted as saying to TASS news agency. The WHO added that it works closely with the World Organization for Animal Health, the Food and Agricultural Organization, and the UN Environmental Programme, UNEP, to monitor and respond to the threat of emerging zoonotic viruses. The WHO told TASS that its experts were aware of this research and thanked the researchers for sharing their findings in a preprint. Animals, particularly wild animals, are the source of more than 75% of all emerging infectious diseases in humans, many of which are caused by novel viruses. Coronavirus are often found in animals, including bats, which have been identified as a natural reservoir of many of these viruses, the global body said. The Chinese scientists said they unexpectedly found the NeoCov and its close relative PDF 2180 CoV can efficiently use some types of BAT, angiotensin converting enzyme, and less favorably human ACE2 for entry. Meanwhile, Russian scientists have noted that the discovery of this variety shows that the variant of virus is capable of binding to human receptors without any adaptation are already circulating directly in the wild. Now, here, what I'd like to tell you, friends, is that see, they see that it comes from South Africa and other places, but it's all developed in a lab. And they think that people are fools, they can't see it. It's become such a, see, when you're thinking that, see, okay, should you take third vaccination? Then you say, why? Because next year they will put another, mutant virus will come out. So you have to take an injection for that as well. So which means every year you need to take a vaccine. And what sort of harm does it do to the body? God alone knows. Because many people are getting other complications. Yeah, back to you, Jen.
Yeah. Now, coming to the next piece of news is that in USA, 26-year-old child molester is to be sent to a juvenile facility for girls because he identifies as a female. Now, as per reports, District Attorney George Jaskin's office had refused to try Tubbs as an adult. Tubbs was 2 months away from turning 18 when he had committed the crime. After being taken into custody, he had started identifying as a trans woman. In the US state of California, a judge in the Los Angeles County Court has ordered that 26-year-old child molester Hannah Tubbs, who was earlier James Tubbs, will be sentenced to 2 years in juvenile facility. Tubbs had pleaded guilty to the crime of sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl inside a bathroom. And as per reports, District Attorney George Gaskin's office had refused to try Tubbs as an adult. So Tubbs was 2 months away from turning 18 when he had committed the crime. In the U.S. state of California, so Tubbs had pleaded guilty to the crime of sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl inside a bathroom. Now, Tubbs had walked into the bathroom at a store and had grabbed a 10-year-old victim by the throat and had locked himself with a child inside a stall. He had forcefully pushed the little girl against a wall and had put his hands inside her clothes. Now, he stopped when another person walked into the restroom, as per reports. Now, Tubbs will not be registered as a sex offender. Far left DA George Gaskin had been facing criticism over this case. He had declared the brain development isn't complete till 25 years of age. And he will not let children tried as adults. As per the court verdict, the newly trans Hannah Tubbs will be sent to a juvenile facility. Now, father passed away, mother is unwell. Dinesh Yadav is the first convict in Delhi anti-Hindu riot. So this is what's happening with regards to the law in US. That there are certain loopholes even in the US law system that
And you can
such.
just imagine, see, though they
Yeah.
say he will be put in a solitary jail, just can
Hmm.
you imagine him being in the vicinity of other women or
Yeah.
young girls? How dangerous he is. Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, in the Delhi riot case, the anti-Delhi anti-Hindu riot case, Dinesh Yadav is the first convict in the Hindu Delhi anti-Hindu riot case. The family says they were persecuted for not paying bribe. Now, in a detailed article in Op India, it says if anything happens, the family was saying, if anything happens to a Muslim, everyone gets united for him, but Hindus lack unity. That is why Muslims are dominating us, said the family of Dinesh Yadav. The first sentence in the anti Hindu riots of Delhi in February 2020 was pronounced on January 20. Dinesh Yadav, who lives in Bhagirathi Vihar of Gokulpuri police station area, has been found guilty by the Karkarduma court. He has been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment and also fined 12,000 rupees. Dinesh was convicted by additional session Judge Virendra Bhatt on 6 December 2021. Dinesh was accused of setting ablaze the house of a 73-year-old Muslim woman and taking away her buffalo and calf. Now, his mother, now there's another version that we have not heard. Dinesh's mother said, "My name is Buddha. I am from Azamgarh district of UP. I have two sons. Both are laborers. There was no case against my sons before this. I've been living in this house in Delhi for 33 years. My kids haven't gone anywhere. His name is falsely put in the case. The accuser is a widowed Muslim woman and she herself is the witness. Then the police were called and my son was arrested. Police took him away after abusing and beating him. Posters of auction were pasted on our house. Her husband died soon after her son was arrested. Dinesh's mother further said, after the arrest of my son, my husband died within a few days. His body had stopped working. Household expenses are left only for gods to take care of. My elder son is looking after the court case. As there is no one in the house, I've called my married daughter from her in law's house here. We have no support from anyone. From arrest to punishment, no one came to our door. 4 people are trapped with my son. We don't know what happened to the rest. Allegations of taking away the buffalo are just for the sake of entrapping them. The woman who made the allegation already had a fight with the people of her community. Now, Dinesh's mother said, the Muslim woman who made the allegation was already having a fight with the Muslim people. Those people had already taken the buffalo away. All of them have accused the Hindus just to save themselves. News spread in our area that Muslim people are coming here to kill. Then all the people of the colony had gathered. Everyone went there to stop those Muslims so that they could not come here. Nobody even came. My son also went to see the same. My son was told that this is a fight for the community. The people of the colony called it a fight for the community. Some of them ran away, some of them stood back. The names of those who stood back were taken in the case. 22 people from my colony were named in the case, and the police people were asking for a bribe. Buddha Devi further added, "We did not take any help from any relative. This fight was for the society. The people of the society are not getting up. What can we do now?" The behavior of the policemen was very bad. They've done all this by taking bribe from others. 4 to 5 lakh rupees were being demanded from our family. From where do we poor people give so much money? We could not give the money. According to Dinesh's mother, ever since my son has been arrested, I haven't seen him. When his brother visits him in jail, Dinesh tells him, "Don't bring mother here in jail to meet me." His health is already unwell. 2 to 4 years before the death, my husband had stopped working. Relying on our sons, he sat at home. Like our sons, he also used to work as a laborer, and he raised our family. Dinesh Yadav's brother Urmila told the media this was the fight of society. In this fight, he went only to see. Now we are left with only my mother, my brother, and me. Being the daughter in the house, I also have a child. Dinesh had studied till class 8. He used to work as a laborer. My father was tortured and asked for a bribe. Dinesh's sister further said, "My brother was caught on 3rd June. My father died on 28th June. My father was made to sit in the police station for 4 hours. He was tortured. They kept asking him for money. There were threats to auction my house. We got bullied. The police used to enter and search my house. There were no women police during the raid. After the riots, my brother's name was inserted in the case. My brother's name was not there when the riots happened. The video was made on the 3rd day of the fight. The video was morphed. Dinesh used to do the painting of my house. My mother is suffering from diabetes and blood pressure." So friends, you see, a totally different version coming out from a family that is suffering. And look at the way the whole story has been distorted. And now this boy faces 5 years of jail and rupees 12,000 penalty as well. So that's all the news for now, friends. Let me just look at some of your comments as well. And meanwhile, I'll leave the line open for you in case you would like to join us. That's the line. So in case you'd like to join us, please do. Madam, can you look into Brandy Vaughan, who was killed by Merck Pharmacy? Okay, we'll try looking at that. Please talk about the Delhi incident where a woman was gang raped, her head was shaved, face blackened, and she was paraded on the streets. Yes, I really don't understand, Karthik, in this case. See how a young woman, and that too, for the reason is also unknown because the people who attacked her were, liquor people, people who had liquor establishments, and it was the women who actually headed the attack on this young woman, and they watched her getting gang raped by 3 people, and then they beat her and they blackened her face and paraded her in front of the public. I mean, what sort of animals are these women? What are they doing? Can't they imagine if it happened to them? What would they do? And what was the crime of this young lady? I don't know how this happens. And see, Karthik, one thing I strongly believe is that, see, in cases like this should be fast tracked. Immediate justice should be given. Otherwise, there's no point because people will be scared all the time, that they can just enter a house and gang rape anybody. How safe does a woman feel in Delhi? And what is this Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal doing? Other than taking coronavirus holidays and coughing in everybody's face and touching them with his, infected hands. Such a useless Chief Minister I've never found in my life. Now we'll have another one in the name of Sidhu.
I mean, yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, in spite of this, people still vote for Arvind Kejriwal because he gives them freebies like in the form of free electricity, free water, and all.
Yes. See,
More,
people are so used to getting things free. They don't know
yeah.
whether a person can rule properly and bring, the country to prosperity. All they're bothered is about freebies. Shameless. Yeah, Maya says, so sad to hear about Dineshji. See, police all over seem to act not as protectors, but as harassers. See, Maya, it's so clear. See, sometimes when some sort of a dilemma happens, it's normal for a society, the people all gather together. See how carefully they have taken his name also and put him in it, and then say that he is the one who has, burnt that lady and the house. Terrible. Manju. Also, Mr. Kejriwal is opening more liquor stores. Yes, I believe, according to AAP and Kejriwal, alcohol is more important than water. Once you get the people drunk, then they will not think who they are voting for. And they'll continue to vote for this useless AAP. Ma'am, Sidhu is just an entertaining guy and just cares about his image and nothing. I find something more devious in this, sensible life because, even Rahul Gandhi acts very idiotic, but they are all very conniving people, with the intention of tearing apart India, making Bharat ka tukde tukde. Kejriwal's intentions are always bad, with a lot of hidden agenda. How he axed Yogendra Yadav. Not that Yogendra Yadav is very good himself, but what you said is right. He protested against Congress that time for Nirbhaya case. What is he doing now? Yes. The young 20-year-old woman who was harassed by the women of her own locality by cutting her hair and blackening her face, it is not just men who raped her, but the women who tortured. And what has humanity come to? I could not believe it. I mean, I was watching it and, it was shocking, to say the least. Aap's Punjab face, Bhagwat Man is supposed to be a big, oh, he's a real joker. I was watching a, viral video where he cannot even walk and people are supporting him and pushing him into the car. That's the kind of leader they want for Punjab. Then they can open the doors to Pakistan and then drugs and alcohol can come in, and then we can have a war with the, India itself and then have Khalistanis based there. Terrible. Ali Carter, black girl raped by Biden and Obama. Okay, interesting. Let me just find out about that. Even Naughty was saying that, okay, Nisha is talking about Sanjay Raut. Even Naughty was saying that wine is not liquor and it will help farmers to double their income. They plan to sell wine in supermarkets. Yes. Santana says, I think the pandemic is literally turning people mad. They're doing some outrageous deeds. Yes. Maya, good day. Good you're talking about the nonsense talked by Shweta Tiwari. She better take care of uh, Palu, who seems to be groomed by to be another puppet. We're talking about her Pallavi, is it? Her daughter. Shweta is a serial actress, only man, not much into films. Yes, we know that. Even Mauni is only into TV. But look at the way they are being pushed by the cabal. This was, yes, yesterday's session was a real eye opener. Shweta has to be in the news to be remembered. Though she's a serial actress, maybe her strength is from the dirty cabal, Yamini, yes. Yesterday, I think Kajalji was talking about Shweta Tiwari, yes, in another context. I saw Father Thackeray on TV today. Is he up and running after surgery? Sometimes, you know what, Jayanti, what these people do, fake media and sort of paid media do is, to fool the audience, what they do is use old clips, file clips. So you don't know whether the father is still walking or not. Anuradha says Shweta appears to be a brainless bimbit. Yeah, being manipulated. She says something about Big Boss. It's time we stop calling him father of the nation. Talking about Mahatma Gandhi. Shweta made a scene last year when an ex-husband came to take his son with him because she was spoiling the son by leaving him unattended during COVID. Yes, I think there was a lot of complaints about having an abusive husband and that sort of thing from Shweta. I'm of the opinion both mother and daughter very much like a honey trap. Yes, could be. All the big boss winners are part of mafia mentality, aren't they? Only movies like Conversion and Godse get stopped by censor board. As Kajal pointed out, Tufan and other nonsense get passed easily. Meenaji, yesterday one of my old friends whom I had lost touch, saw me in my message in CM and found my number and called him. In a way, CM is helping people connect also. Yes, Karthik, this happened in the case of Meenakshi Singh also. You remember she had come from NewsX, and what happened was it was not only one friend from America. There were many friends who connected with her after the interview, and she was so glad because she was saying it was after 20 or 21 years that she was connecting to these friends. So it's good that you could connect with your friend. But by God, yesterday, ma'am's session with Kajal was like an explosive Bollywood. Yes. Keep your face in DP, it works, yes. People can recognize you. They are the cockroaches of the society, these rug peddlers in gutterwood and politicians. Somehow they seem to survive in the gutter. Rajiv, prayers to Lata Mangeshkar ma'am's speedy recovery. Absolutely. Sahil Shah, he was a drug supply to SSR's household, not to SSR. SSR was never a drug addict. Please remember that, Meena, even when you type something. Sahil Shah is a big time drug dealer with strong connections with D Company. I was really shocked to see the comments by Shweta. Didn't expect this from her. Someone who's had a troubled personal life should have been more mature in her public life. See, Karthik, we would also notice in this press conference that she had, there was also Kamaljeet, you know. He's a very good, respected actor. And you saw the way he did not even look at her. He wasn't even listening to her comments because, see, they belong to another class, you know. And I'm sure he did not like the way she was speaking. So, like what you all say, like Karthik and all are saying, it's very disgusting. And but not all the people are similar. Chitra, he must have been promised a great time in prison by Sena. That's why Sahil must have been arrested. Santana, she does all those dark things in life, so I guess her brain is numb now. I don't know. See, they were all acting in Ekta serials, I presume. Very close to Ekta because they all go for her parties. Minaji, Wuhan scientists have won. Yes, we spoke about that, Maya. They seem to be continuing to making new viruses so that the pandemic, yes, very frightening for all of us. Let me just take latest uh, comments. Karthik, when Shweta made the comment, I think Saurabh Raj Jain was embarrassed. Yes, not only he, two, three people on stage were not even looking at her face because I think, Karthik, that she's been doing this more and more, and that's what she's being paid to do. You know, ma'am, good session. Always is logical. I watch your channel over national media. Thank you, Edu. Arvind Kejriwal is a hyena controlled by Indian left wing.
I would like to add to Mr. Sibananda.
Yeah,
His comment is that Arvind Kejriwal has sort of advertised in most of the mainstream media channels in a big way. Like he funds there are a lot of advertisements for many television channels like Republic, Times Now, CNN, IB, and all the mainstream news channels, so that they don't report anything negative against him or
yeah.
criticize
And they
him.
toe the line. Yeah,
So you will never see a debate in which Arvind Kejriwal is criticized or any of his policies are
absolutely.
criticized because he's advertising in a huge way in their media channels.
Karthik says when Shweta made the comment, I think Saurabh was embarrassed. Absolutely. Universal consciousness is rising. So now everything is coming back to surface. Wasn't Shweta caught in a prostitution sting operation years back?
That was Shweta Basu Prasad.
Ah, that's another lady.
That's another actress.
The Indian Republic. What you
Yeah.
that's to your comment, Jede. What kind of Bhagwant Man as CM candidates of drunk man? This was Basu Prasad. Ma'am, yesterday Moni Roy presented herself as a great Indian woman in her wedding. Today she is in a pool party. Don't know why intelligent businessmen fall for this bitchy ladies. Here, I would say, Gayatri, uh, I was, frankly to tell you, this is the first time I'm finding her in a sari because all the time she's in the beach wearing bikinis. So today's dress seems more appropriate for her. And moreover, if you're talking about whether these people, these business people who marry them are intelligent, there are two ways to look at it. Either they're too intelligent and they're towing the line that she has in her mind and what she's doing, or they are so dumb and dumbstruck by the glamour that they don't know, like a spider is weaving them into the web, they will get caught. You remember, Kajal said so well, caught in this, what you call chakravyuha, from which you cannot get out. This is what is happening to many people, whether it was SSR, whether it was, this man who died recently, Jaydev, Shukla, Siddharth Shukla.
Siddharth
All
Shukla.
these people, yes, all these people, and now these are the new ones. You look at Katrina Kaif's husband. What is he? So the poor guy was a very normal guy before marriage. Now he doesn't know how to behave. You look at him, he's embarrassed all the time. You look at the other guy that the Sanketa Lokate has married. You know, he has such an expression in his face. And she says that because he likes to party, she has married him. Do you marry someone only for their party loving skills? So these are all terrible. As you said, Gayatri, it makes you sort of sick. There have been sting operations on many Bollywood actors where they were getting bribed to support a particular party. Yes. Yes, yeah, the Republic which goes hammer and tongs against all anti-nationalists. They are easy on Kejriwal. Edu. Karma will hit each one, so keep that in mind always. Oh, very sad. Yes, ma'am. Vicky Kaushal also seems trapped. If you look at his parents, they also they never looked happy during this event. The mafia superstars like Salman and Shahrukh should not be allowed to profit from production too. Not only boycott them, but also hit them, allow them to not to profit from production. Yes. Smriti Irani spoke highly of Pawnee Roy and posted on her Facebook page, wishing her for a wedding. I'm shocked in the endorsement. I expect more from her. Here, Mink, I'd also like to say what she mentioned clearly was that she's known her for 17 years, and she's such a gem of a girl. And if she was so attached to this Mauni Roy, if Smriti was so attached to Mauni Roy, why did she not attend the party? So she did not do it for obvious reasons. Okay, because everybody knows what they represent. And the second image that she had was of Ekta Kapoor's child, saying that she was her Masi, and she loved to see her grow and all that. What is the kind of relationship she has with Ekta Kapoor? Okay, doesn't she know that when she talks about endorsing the child, girl child, as it was a day back, saying that they should be looked after, they should be encouraged, they should be educated. What is happening to the women under Ekta Kapoor? What is happening to children under Ekta Kapoor? They are being sexploited. Does she protect them as a woman minister? She doesn't. And she's talking about Mauni Roy being a precious person. Everything is crap. Karthik says Vicky Kaushal is in a proverbial Trishanku Swarga, neither here nor there. What the CBI working all waiting for truth? Yes. Those actresses marry rich guys. No, they're not rich guys. They just that they are shell companies. As Kajal said very clearly, they are companies. They are people who are used for whitewashing money. Why are all the marriages having around the same time? Again, with not very famous personalities. Yeah, now we can expect Shatrughan Sinha's daughter's wedding. Then you can expect some other more, some more weddings happening. And these are all, those Shraddha Kapoor's wedding. Katrina Kaif will get citizenship of India after 5 years. Her marriage with Vicky is all set by the company. Please bring up a session on mafia and music industry. Yes, we will do that. I think actress from Bengal who played Dripti dropped the role. She is
Draupadi.
old. Uh, explaining her thoughts. I know. Yeah, she's in BJP. What is her name? I forget. Their yardstick for a wonderful person is so low anyone can pass their test. Their movies aren't working. Maybe that's why this marriage episodes. Yes. Have you seen BBC Hindi documentary on YouTube channel Effects on Bollywood? Swara Bhaskar says she's not getting a job because of. Well said, Manju. If a few YouTubers can do that, can you imagine the very status of Bollywood? It can crumble at any moment. Yes, yes. Maya. And has Smriti come out on Lavanya? No. Very selective about whom she supports. All her actions be read between the lines. And you know something, Maya? It is JP Nadda who has, set in a committee to probe into the Lavanya case. No mention of Smriti at all in this because she's not bothered. If she was bothered, she would bother about Disha Stalin also, and about Jia Khan and Janvi Kukreja types. You mean to say she only cares about some few children selected for their bravery on a special day? Selective, absolutely. Yes, Rupa Ganguly. Yeah, she's a bold lady. Swara not getting a job. Was she really doing movies? Her time is spent only in Twitter. Rupa, yes, played Draupadi. Are YouTube and Insta influencers going to overthrow? Shiva? That's a nice question. You know,
I mean, I
absolutely.
would like to add
Yeah,
to Mr. Shiva Abhishek's
yeah,
comment is that YouTubers and influencers are just instruments. Like so far, the crowd has, they were blindly believing the narrative which was said by Bollywood that everything is, hunky dory and everything is nice and but now, after the SSR, after SSR was murdered, it is only then that the people awoke, and because of many YouTubers and SSR warriors, and because they could see through Bollywood's double standards, what all nefarious activities that Bollywood is doing, and because of the power of social media that Bollywood is like right now it's almost over because just recently with the South Indian film industry is doing extremely well even in the time of pandemic, but
yeah,
all the Bollywood films have been left and right flop, and that too by big the so-called big superstars, like Akshay Kumar and Salman Khan. None of their films have done any good, right? So this
yeah.
is the power of boycott Bollywood movement, and it's only after the power of it's only thanks to the power of social media, like all the audience sitting and watching a video, and they have collectively sort of decided to boycott the Bollywood movies. That Bollywood is where it is right now.
Running
So
helter skelter.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Has the time come to offer lock and key to certain investigators? Yes. Premier agencies, yes. Someone named Mr. A was mentioned in SSR Diaries after yesterday's session with Kajal. I'm wondering, could this be? Most probably, it could be, if it is so. It's different, yes. Swara Zonia, Rashbari. Who cares Bollywood wedding? Public is more aware now, yes. Vijay Shanti is part of the committee, yes. They are getting millions of viewers and videos and images. People need to wake up. Here also, Shalini, one thing is very clear in a chat that I had with another channel, Alternate Media. It's very clearly said that PR company, they call these PR companies, Karina Kapoor and all these people, whether it's Mauni Roy, they all call the PR companies and say, "I'm getting out of the car, I'm going to the gym. You see,
Yes.
please come." So do you think that just because Janvi pops out of a house, and people, photographers are waiting there all the time? No, they are called by the PR and said that please go and click photographs, and then they make the fuss about, oh, enough, enough, enough. You know, they are invited to take the pictures, and they're told please don't take any pictures. This is the kind of hypocrisy they thrive on.
So not only that, the how the PR companies of Bollywood works is that, for example, any starlet like, for example, for example, Shraddha Kapoor or any like Sara Ali Khan, they will employ like a PR agency, and the PR agency will create say like 50 to 100 Instagram fan accounts of Sara Ali Khan,
Yeah, yeah.
and similarly they will maybe in Facebook also they do the same, and Twitter, but mainly in Instagram. So
So
they
these are
will
fake accounts.
they'll post these videos. They will sort of buy likes, they'll buy views, like say 1 million views for one video, and they will sort of advertise that in Instagram, and that's how they are sort of
Yeah,
boosting their popularity or
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah. So we were saying that they
And
buy
they will
fake
wear
followers.
small dresses to attract the male
Yeah.
audience more,
So what you are saying is they buy fake
because
followers.
this is the latest strategy.
Yeah. Interesting question from Nomad. Minaji, the truth is there are 34,000 plus people go missing only in Maharashtra and 1 lakh plus in India, and only a handful of percentages found. Where do these people go? Here, this is the truth about Maharashtra. And not only about Maharashtra, it's happening in Kerala. It's happening in a lot of the non BJP states. Okay. And what is happening is that very rampant child and women trafficking, not only for sex, but also for organs, for skin, transplant, for everything, adrenochrome. And these people sit in the position of ministers, saying that they're looking after every woman and child, and this is what happens. They don't care a damn about what happens to others' children, as long as their children are protected and sent to foreign universities to study. If you look at all these ministers, Nomad, you'll find out that they all sent to foreign universities. Why? We don't have good universities in India. We have to send them to Berkeley. We have to send them to Cambridge. We don't have good universities here. No, as ministers, you make so much of money. That's why you send your children abroad. And these children have to be protected at all costs. Okay? But the children of normal middle class children, parents can be, dispersed with at will. Jayashri. Now people don't buy it, they have become smart. Yes, absolutely. Very interesting comments coming from all of you. In USA, there are 200 underground cities which are 16-story down. So they are for elites to hide. The cities are very advanced. I believe here, SK, in fact, one more piece of news is that this is where they have these adrenochrome, sort of labs. And these children and women are kept there. So I've read this and it's very frightening, this sort of thing. So very true what you say, and it's very frightening. No man. Why no so-called police and authorities and even the Rouge Neta speak of this? Every day, apparently, Nomad, 100 children go missing in Maharashtra. Absolutely, Jaydev. Before SSR, I was really a big dumb. Yes, Rupa Ganguly is a good actress and politician. Yes, she speaks very well, and she's, she sort of is a good fighter. Welcome, sensible. Karthik. Salu's new film should be named as Kabhi Flop or Kabhi. That's a good one. They will do anything and everything in terms of licenses and even telling farmers to and wine related crops, liquor agenda. You remember, Sharad Pawar has the biggest wine, isn't it, factory? I think, Jaideep, you were doing some story and you found out that he has the biggest distillery, Sharad Pawar, some wines. I forget the name. Chitra. All are so self-conceited that they think they have some good, great achievers, broken some glass ceilings. They don't talk about the values they compromise to reach the place. Yes, they are in today. Welcome, Mira. Looks like BBC was on a budget. They hired the cheapest actor to come and speak for the documentary. Who takes her seriously? Jokes on them. In fact, what I just I couldn't listen to the whole thing because sort of Style Rug comes with 4 hours long sessions. But he did say that some person called him from BBC and said that he wanted to come home and shoot the session. I was surprised. BBC doesn't have a studio. They want to go to a person's house to interview. And then Style said, no, no, we'll go and meet in a hotel. And that's how they went to a hotel and he gave an interview. So this whole thing seems so dicey. Very amusing, yes. Vicky Kaushal is a bakra. I think that we have too many
Yeah, it
bakras.
is Sula Wines.
Yes,
Jersey.
Sulawesi. Absolutely, yeah. Vicky Kaushal is a bakra. Hoping Samir Mankri sir is doing well. Yes. There are people even now who believe only in mainstream media. It's convenient. No, you turn on the TV and it's there. Our nation is becoming a hub and haven for crimes and rouge gangs. None of the agencies or the ruling or even the opposition party got anything to do. Rather, they are partners in crime. What happens, Nomad, is that I like the way you're, writing these comments. One thing, Nomad, see, only when these cases are politically linked, as in they could affect the careers of these politicians, only then do they react. The moment it is somebody else, for example, it's SSR or it's Disha or Jia, they don't care. See how many actresses who acted in these Ekta Kapoor serials, like Pratyusha, so many people, Siddharth Shukla, all of them died. How many people really bothered about them? Nobody did. It's the poor parents, who are hitting their heads on walls, trying to get some justice for them. Also, recently we did this with Sapin Tiger. Who was that actor today who acted in Tamil film as well? Kunal,
Who?
isn't it? Kunal. He was also, look at the way he was killed. And it was for a land deal, that too in Panvel. So this is all organized crime with the fact that the police are hand in glove with them. So when the whole system is corrupt, what can you do? SSR made sure everything comes out through AI. Yeah, we lost a great soul. Only 50% had strike lag. Please rest 50%. Please. So sweet of you, Meera. Yes, if you really like this and you enjoy talking with us, please press the like button. It makes a huge difference for us. May any documentary be made by any national or international channels, but ma'am, have decided not to see Bollywood until justice is served. Well said, Gurbinder. Nomad. Kids are supplied to the rich and sexual monsters, netas and celebrities. See, like yesterday, I was telling Kajal, see, a Nirbhaya squad has been created by the police in Maharashtra. And the first one who said that, well done, it was Salman Khan. And then Sara Ali. Okay. When this happened to so many helpless girls in the film industry and the TV industry, did this man wake up? Did Sara Ali say anything about Disha or these other girls, Jia Khan? How much Jia Khan's mother has been hitting her head against the wall? How many people stood with Rabia Khan? And this young girl, the 19-year-old Janvi Kukreja, her mother has come so many times on our channel. Has any person spoken about the anguish that these parents go through? And they're talking about hailing a Nirbhaya squad. In that excuse, they'll start catching women and putting them in jail. That's what I suspect of Maharashtra. So, ma'am, that's the way to break the Hawala money chain. Yes. The PR will even stand outside the bathroom and shoot the photos as bathroom look. Yeah. What about when Malaika Rao steps out with her dog? In a very recent interview, DK, this Malaika, she came with some Bollywood character who looks very funny himself, like a Karan Johar type. And, so he wants to interview her about the changes happening in her life. And you won't believe it. Half an hour of talking nonsense. She did not want to reveal anything. and she did not want to sound idiotic. So she would talk about things like women's liberation, women's emotions, what, why body shaming, all these things. And then I was thinking, as the interview went, I said, okay, we will get some substance out of her. Absolutely nothing. This is what these and can you imagine, in half an hour, see, we've dedicated an hour to you, how much of information we try to give you. It's very important because the time that you devote to this channel, it's very precious time for you, and we have to respect that. And these bimbos and whatever they talk absolute nonsense. And you should see the interviewer. He says, oh, it's like, beads of wisdom are coming from these women. It's absolutely what you say is so true. So what Madhur Bhandarkar showed in page 3, yes, very true. It's absolutely. In fact, his movies are reflections of what is happening in Bollywood. PRT made them what they are not. Even they have fake followers in Instagram. Now, see, in these latest weddings, you'll see everything. Like, they say that she looked coyly in a Kerala dress or in a Bengali dress, and she was going to cry when she was picked up by her brothers. First of all, the men who picked her up, this Mauni Roy, picked her in that stool, which is a Bengali custom. They are not her brothers. There was only one brother of hers. So calling them all brothers, these are all Bollywood people. So everything is fake. Who are the guests? These guests are only the guests that are invited for every Bollywood wedding. Now you're talking about the PR lady. What's her name? The raindrops lady. I don't forget. Jyoti. The PR lady who was someone SSR criticized and said that she's very slimy. I forget her name. She was also there at the party. You see. So we know what this all consists of. It's all hypocrisy and trying to fool people, and then the PR tried to make it appear as if they are babes in the wood.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think we've just short on time.
Ah, yeah, okay. So we just take a few more. Yeah, this thing. Tezpur says, how does Liquor Joy know that SSR would live in our hearts, and he really did in our hearts? Yes.
Yeah, there's
Janvi
one
dressing.
comment from Vinita.
Janvi dressing, sense of God, why? And that camera, yes. Yes, you said something, Jede.
Yeah, Vinita posts a comment. Hi, Minaji. I stopped reading newspaper as I get all the news here in an interesting way with zero gossip. Healthy
Guilty
conversation all the
conversation.
time.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Vinita. Yeah, another one from Nomad. The rich and famous is either a scamster or a customer of some scams, and the IPS and IAS officials are a part of it. Jayashri, now people don't buy it, they have become smart. Okay, so I'll just take a couple of more last comments and then we'll end it. Vinita says, yeah, so we've already taken that. In 1999, I went to a Bollywood party on a top terrace in Delhi. I met Chunky Pandey and a lot of gay guys, very dark. I, very interesting, SK. Oh, I think you should come once on our show and talk about it. Absolutely funny. सारा और आलिया जहां कदम रखते हैं उसकी जिंदगी बर्बाद हो जाएगी. एंटर इन रणबीर लाई फादर फट सारा सुशी को खा गई. Okay. So one last one. Urvashi Rotela thanked Modi ji for her being Phuket ambassador. See, here also Shalini, a very cunning way. She has not tagged Modi ji. So there is something very weird here. I think she has herself proposed her name as an ambassador to this minister who's Shekhawat, who thought, Shekhawat would have thought, because I'm looking at him, I know that he has absolutely no ABC idea of what Bollywood is. So she would have told him that she has an NGO for Water Foundation. So he would have said, oh, well, we're just looking for an ambassador, make her the ambassador. He didn't know the kind of attacks he would get on Twitter. He was bombarded with tweets saying that, how did you select such a movie? There is nothing to learn good from these fake people, and we common people were getting influenced by them as our yes. On this note, we will end. Please let us not use these people as our models. They are not worth it. And if your children are going into any vocation, Please do not put them into acting or modeling. Send them into other occasions, and they will take good care of you. Please read the comments of Sensible Life. Okay, I have to see. Yeah, can you just check out what is Sensible Life
I think we
saying?
have taken that comment.
Yeah, I think Karthik mentions it. So please do. This is real candid. Yes. So yeah, we would like to. I'm not. Yeah. Let's see here. Yes. Sensible Life says, I will for sure. It's an honor to interact. Yes. Please do come. And all of you, see, I don't know. I mean, so many of you, whether it is Karthik or whether it's Maya, or whether it's Yamini. Or Yamini also came out with something. A man have spoken about adrenochrome with my cousins in USA. They are saying that those are only false allegations. These are ignorance everywhere, and people are busy. Yamini, as you say, they are not aware of it. Okay, and this is a serious problem, and we all know how it stems and who are the people who are doing it. So if they don't believe it, you just believe what you think is right and leave it, because you cannot convince people who don't have knowledge of these things. So thank you so much, friends, and lovely interacting with you as always. So tomorrow we have a very interesting session with another interesting personality, and I'm sure you'll find many questions that you'd like to ask him as well. So please join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Good night.
Thank you.